back out here in the beautiful nature. Yes, I enjoy the sunshine. The grass is so beautiful. But today on my channel, I wanted to talk to you about waiting on the right mate. How many of you are waiting on the right mate? The Bible says, whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord. So we know that the man findeth a good wife. So we don't have to be looking. So today I wanted to talk about when you're meeting someone new, or maybe you know somebody already that you're dating, and they haven't asked you to marry them yet. Or maybe they're even saying that they're not ready to get married. Again, whoso findeth. And this is my thought on it, is that I believe a man knows when he have the right one, or he's still just playing the field. But he never let the woman know that he know that already. And he'll just keep saying things like, well, I'm not ready yet. Maybe in another 2 years, 3, 5 years, 10 years. And they keep stringing you along until you finally realize, this man don't want to marry me. I know we've all been in situations like that, where we waited on a man to decide if he wanted to marry us. Because it seems like women, yes, even myself, we always tend to think that the man has to say in as far as the timing when he wants to marry us, or we think, well, if he asks me to marry, I'm gonna marry him. But based on just that, you don't want someone to marry someone that have not that does not fit into the description of who you want in a man. Now, sometimes we misinterpret, like sometimes when being married, or you're wanting someone to ask you to marry them, you're not really weighing everything. You know, how does he treat you? Is there things that you don't like about him? Is there some things that bother you? Something that kind of tells you, no, I really don't want to be married to him, but he asked me. We don't have to be desperate because somebody asks us to marry them. If he don't have the qualifications, if he don't, because the Lord will give you the man that you desire. Because God already have the mate for you. So whatever his plan is, it's your plan. So when you get in line with what God's plan is, then you will know the right person to marry. And so don't get so excited that just because somebody asks you to marry them doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that they're faithful. Doesn't mean that they really want to marry you. It doesn't mean that they love you. They could just like you. Sometimes men are confused. Sometimes they don't even know what a husband is really. Everybody else getting married, oh, okay. You want to get married? And maybe they won't even never ask you. Maybe you will ask them. But we got to stop being so desperate to find a mate, and we see the problem right in front of our face, but yet we overlook it, and we don't take that into consideration. I would advise you to pray, pray, pray. You pray and ask God If this man is not for me, move him out of the way. And you better be willing to let him go. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want somebody, you don't want somebody that don't want you. You want somebody who has your heart. First, they have to love God first. That's number one. If they're not talking about the outdoors, if they're not talking about God, if God is not the center of their life, if God isn't more important than anything, first, you better take a second look. Because we want to look past everything that God tells us about a person when we meet them. We want to look all past that, and we want to say, oh, well, he's nice. Oh, well, he has a job. Well, he's this, and he's that, and he's shy, and he's that. That means nothing in determining a husband or a wife, depending on who is looking for a husband, or if it's a man, a wife, and if it's a woman, a husband. So, again, you don't want to don't settle. Don't settle, because, and I know it ain't easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying you have to say it. You have to say, Lord, if he ain't for me, if this man is never going to marry me, then move him out of my life. And you say it and mean it, God will do that. And so if he never gets moved out of your life, guess what? There might be that place where he could be your husband. Could be. But that's not just one side. You have to look at the things he's saying, the things he's doing. Is he treating you right? Is he concerned with what you think? Is he listening to the things you have to say? Do he seem like he's occupied with his own self? Do we try to jump in and make his point more important than yours? Look at all these things. It doesn't take a scholar to know the difference, but we know the difference. And sometimes we know the truth, but we overlook it. Well, if I get married, then, he'll change it because he'll be my husband. And that, no, don't think like that. You want the best man that God has for you. I know a lot of times people say, well, God doesn't have just one person for you. And however God do it, that's how God gonna do it, right? But God has somebody for you. And if you ask God for a mate, and you ask for that special kind of mate, one who loves God first, one that loves you second, and then your children. Because a lot of men, they'll die for their children. They love their children, and they put their wife last. I don't think that's the right order. According to the Bible, that's not the right order. And so in this video, I just wanted to come and just talk to those who are looking for a mate, who is waiting for a mate. Be patient and enjoy yourself in the Lord first. Give yourself to the Lord and put that man in the back burner. In time, God will do what he said he would do. He said he'll give us the desires of our heart, because God desires us to be married. If you want to be married, then that's God's desire for you to be married. You wait on the Lord, I'm telling you. It'll be good for you too. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he will strengthen your heart. So thanks for joining me today, and thank you for, just taking the time out to watch. If you like this video, you know what to do. And thank you for joining me today. And I'm here to motivate you. God bless and have a